In our Health Edge tonight, it's being called a controversial alternative to drinking coffee. But is this so-called caffeine boost safe for you?
Our chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi, here now. And Dr. Nandi, we're talking about the kind of caffeine that you inhale.
Yeah, they're putting everything in inhalants now, so it makes me a little nervous. You know, I'm just worried about the fact that what can happen when this caffeine goes. So normally, you know, you and I drink a cup of coffee, it's not a big deal, but when you inhale caffeine, we don't know how the body's going to handle it. Will it be a quicker response? What will the health effects be? And then kids love this stuff, right? So if you have a young adult who's or adolescent who's inhaling this stuff, what's going to happen to their brain? What we don't know is the effects of this caffeine, especially if you do multiple doses, which are easy now, on the developing brain. So it's really important.
Sounds scary almost. So what do you recommend for someone who needs a quick pick-me-up that's safe?
Get sleep. Get some sleep. I'm not, you know, it's kind of half joking, right? But we are a country of like, I won't sleep. I got to do everything. I got to maximize 24 hours. So there are no free rides, right? You've got to put in the time, and that means time to sleep. However, if you are doing that, I think taking a cup of coffee is fine, as long as you don't have excessive. I have patients that take a pot of coffee a day. Can you believe that? Ooh. Because and that caffeine can over time, you know, basically harm you. So I think that if you have a cup of coffee, 1 or 2 a day, I think it's fine. But this inhalant stuff, we don't know what it's going to do. So don't jump right to it. Let's look for studies and see if it can damage you.
It's a little device. You just use
but then,
it.
Yep, and then just you inhale it. And it goes right to you. And people think, well, boom, I can get a pickup right away. But we just don't know how your body's going to handle it.
And you don't know how much you're taking in.
Well, let's talk about managing our sugar intake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the FDA now proposing some big changes. What do you have to say about it, Doc?
I love it. I love it because you know what happened with it before? They would just say, well, this is the sugar. They wouldn't tell you, for example, you have some cherries, that's good sugar, right? That's sugar with a low glycemic index. Now they put a bunch of stuff in, they'll say this is, you know, something that's low fat, but stick a bunch of sugar in there. It's even worse for you. So now the FDA is saying you've got to tell folks that you added the sugar. And furthermore, how much sugar you should be taking in so you have an idea. The reason for all this is because the American Heart Association and the World Health Organization says, listen, we think added sugar adds to your heart disease. Heart disease, #1 killer for us, right? You know, throughout the United States and North America. So what can we do to reduce it? And in making people have less added sugars in their food is going to help. But you got to know it before you can decrease it.
Okay, I was going to ask you something else, but I think we're out of time. Thank you so much, Dr. Nandi.
You're welcome. Namaste to you.
And if you have a question or health concern for the good doctor, you can email him at drnandi@WXYZ.com or send it to us, Facebook, Twitter, and we'll get it to him.